Welcome back to a brand new video on TECHDROIDS, and today I'm taking you guys over the best budget Valve gaming PCs for the year 2016. So be sure to drop a like rating and get subscribed to TECHDROIDS if you haven't already. So talking performance of these PCs will perform really well and smash some of the latest AAA titles at 1080p whilst achieving 60 above FPS at medium, low to medium settings and above 30 FPS in medium to high settings with some anti-aliasing and textures turned up a little bit. So this is a really good build or builds because you have choice in the parts on the Nvidia and the Intel side. All the parts mentioned in this video are linked in the description below to Amazon.com, so check them out, and this thing will give the channel a small kickback. So that's been it for the performance, and let's get to the build right away without any more wasting of time. So for the CPU, the two choices are the Intel Pentium G4500. This thing is a really good overclocker, and the Pentium series, the 20th anniversary Pentium series, has really good overclocking capabilities. It comes out of the box at 3.5 GHz, but you can get a clean, easy 4 GHz. It's a dual core CPU. That means it might lag behind in some of the latest AAA titles like Battlefield 1, but this thing is a really good CPU for the price. It's of the LG 1151 socket type, costs about 81 bucks, and I don't think so it should lag behind in most of the titles. It will get away with these titles. It is 81 bucks and does the job. It supports DDR4 RAM. On the other hand, we have the AMD Athlon X4 880K. Now this is a successor to the legendary 860K. It comes at out of the box clock speed of 4.0 or 4 GHz and can overclock up to 4.5, and the boost speed is up to 4.2. so even without overclocking you can get a really good clock speed, and it's a quad core CPU. That means it maintains compatibility with most of the AAA titles. It costs about 97 bucks and does the job for most of the games and some productivity as well. And guys, worth mentioning that these PCs range from up to $350 to $500. So that being said, let's get to the motherboard. If you're going with the Intel G4500, you need to go with the Gigabyte GAH110MA. It's a micro ATX motherboard that supports DDR4, $56 in price, and has all the necessary USB 3.0, HDMI, and SATA 6 gigabits per second ports. If you're going the AMD route, the ASRock micro ATX motherboard, the NA888M G3.1 DDR3 at 2400 MHz up to 32 gigs and 59 bucks. So both motherboards fairly similar and support most of the things apart from the Intel supporting DDR4 and the AMD supporting only DDR3. But this thing also supports the ASRock, supports the USB 3.0 and HDMI for most of the connections, and it also offers some good SATA 6 ports. For RAM, you can go for Kingston HyperX Fury 8GB of DDR4 at 2400 MHz for 38 bucks if you're going the Intel route, and Kingston HyperX Fury DDR3 8GB 1866 MHz for 35 bucks on the AMD route. For hard drive, I went with the WD Blue 1TB, and this is 7200 RPM. That means it's the fastest mainstream kind of hard drives go, and it supports 64 megabytes of cache and SATA 6 gigabits per second. And if you really want some good speeds, then the SSD of choice is the Kingston SSD Now V300. It costs about 44 bucks and offers you 120 gigabytes. That's not the largest amount of space to store all your games in your Steam library, but your operating system and your apps that you use very frequently can be stored, and this SSD, any SSD for that matter, will increase the PC performance significantly. So SSD, always worth it. So if you have the choice and the budget, please opt for SSD or a normal hard drive. For the power supply, I went with the EVGA 500 watt power supply. It is 80 plus bronze certified. That means it runs about 80 plus efficiency at all times. Costs about 35 bucks and does the job for most things and will power the PC. And for the graphic card, I went with the Asus Nvidia GeForce GTX 750 Ti. It comes with a 2GB GDDR5 frame buffer, which is mostly enough for any game out there. GDDR5, that means it's of the newer generation, and 2 gigabytes is mostly enough for even your productivity like video editing and gaming. Most of the games at 1080p 60 fps at max settings. For the case, I went with the Thermaltake, the GPU cost about $105, and for the case I went with the Thermaltake Versa H25. It costs about $39 and looks good, minimal, has place for cable management, and supports our micro ATX motherboard. So that wraps up, guys, the best budget Valve gaming PCs for the year 2016. These PCs will perform really good in day-to-day tasks as well as some heavy video editing and gaming. So if you liked it, then give this video a massive thumbs up and check out the other PC builds that I've done. All the parts mentioned in this video were linked in the description below. And that's been it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in the next TechDroids video.